The pump is starting. Ladies and gentlemen, Tesla stock at the time of recording this video is up over 2% in after hours trading, heading into extended hours trading, which begins at 8 p.m. Here in this video, I will break down all of your news. There is some big news that I think you need to know that came out after the bell today, a couple hours ago, that is helping to boost Tesla stock. And I think we're getting above some pretty critical levels for Tesla from a positioning standpoint that I think a lot of Wall Street may start to take more notice and look at Tesla and say, hey, we have this big news coming out in the next 24 hours with a likely China trade deal, likely semiconductor loosening of restrictions. Mix that with China loosening their restrictions of rare earth materials, let alone what the actual tariff rate's going to look like or what other details could come out of a potential trade deal. So we're going to get all of that news here in the next 24 hours, 48 hours or so. The next day or two, we should get that. That's going to be big and positive for markets. Likely send stocks, the S&P, to new all-time highs. But you also have the Robotaxi event, in which that is not something a lot of folks on Wall Street have even really thought about. They still think it's a bit of a sideshow, when in all reality, I think the big catalyst that we're going to get on Wednesday is guidance. I think Thursday, it all comes down to guidance on scalability of Robotaxi. Is Tesla in talks with other cities currently to launch Robotaxi? Have those conversations and applications been ongoing? Is Tesla going to scale much faster than we think? Is the scaling process going to be slower than we think? Those are the big details that we all want and need to know, that I think ultimately is going to be a big positive catalyst for Tesla that will send the stock higher and maybe even into a bit of a short squeeze. And we'll talk about that throughout this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and let's get started. Let's start with the news that really sent Tesla stock dramatically higher into the end of the day. You can see between 3:30 p.m. today and 4 p.m. Tesla stock went up roughly 2.5%, and then you're up another 2% here in after hours. So cumulatively, you're up 6+% today, almost 7-ish%, somewhere around there. Again, it could get crazier from here, but the news today was this. President Trump just now on Elon Musk. He says, quote, "Look, I wish him well. We had a good relationship and I just wish him well. Very well, actually." And this is when it all started to get kind of insane to the upside. This clip was posted at 3:55 p.m. and you can see just since then, Tesla stock has ramped higher. We also had this post from ALX on X that says, President Donald Trump on Elon Musk, quote, "We had a great relationship and I wish him well, very well, actually." And Elon Musk commented with a red heart emoji. So there's definitely some reconciling that needs to take place. Elon needs to apologize or something. I think this is Elon's way of apologizing. The whole Epstein thing was just crazy. That was too far. But it seems like Trump and Elon, they want to be on the same team here. And that was seen as something that could have been really bad for Tesla. If, let's say, Republicans or 50% of the population, for that matter, started revolting against Elon and Tesla, even though it's Elon doing these things, Tesla is the one that gets punished for it. I mean, you could argue that 50% of the population, Republicans, are really not big EV drivers for the most part anyways. So maybe it's not as bad as it sounds. Either way, it's not good to have a large chunk of the population potentially not like a brand, okay, for reasons of the brand didn't even do anything wrong, okay? That's just potentially problematic. But the bigger issue could have been some pushback from state, local representatives in the House, the Senate, that maybe may have took Trump's side and pushed Elon to the side. Maybe getting robotaxi regulatory approvals could have been a little bit more difficult. And that's why Tesla stock sold off, because Tesla is valued highly, right? Tesla is not valued based on core metrics in which you value Coca-Cola or another company that's, more stable, cash rich. Tesla is not cash rich. They are to a certain extent, but not relative to their market cap. Tesla's valuation is dependent on growth. And if Elon was theoretically going to get in the way of that potential growth with robotaxi, that is why the stock sold off so much. And now it seems like that threat is gone. Trump is not saying bad things about Elon. He's trying to push things in a friendlier direction. And Elon, to the like, has been doing the same. Tesla stock was in the, 330s or so, right? Just 340s, 350s, 360s, just a week or two ago. It can get back to those levels pretty fast. Like, again, that Thursday that all the drama started at like 3:30 to 4:30, I didn't even make a video at 8 p.m. that day because I didn't want to scare anyone. And the repercussions upon Elon or Tesla could have been huge if this had spiraled into something bigger. It did not. We are well on the backside of this. The only thing that's really left is a public apology, probably on both sides, which I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think it needs to happen. I think from an investor standpoint, the damage is done. I don't think there was any damage really done to the Tesla brand. Definitely not based on the news that we also got today in After Hours. Official Tesla X account shared this post from Sawyer Merritt that says China is the world's largest and most competitive car market, and people there pick the Model Y. That is because the Model Y reclaims the #1 best-selling SUV crown in China for May. Tesla sold 24,770 Model Ys according to new insurance registration data. Demand is incredible for the new Model Y. And when a lot of people have all of these worries and concerns around Tesla, Tesla continues to perform. We know that, the car business is not doing great everywhere. It's holding its own, but it doesn't even matter as much for the stock anymore. As long as we're not seeing a massive demand issue, like something like 50% down deliveries globally or something like that. We're not getting that. What really matters for Tesla stock is AI. It is robotaxi. It is Optimus. That is what investors are slowly starting to pay more attention to. That's why Tesla's deliveries, even in China still, are negative on a year-over-year basis, but yet Tesla stock has done well this year, okay? From where it started the year, obviously. From the lows of this year, I shall also point out. Yes, you get news like this, and it's also going to help the stock. But again, I don't think it matters, or it will matter a lot less over the next 6 months what delivery numbers actually look like. It's going to start to move the stock less, good and bad. Now, I also believe a big catalyst coming here literally any time now is going to be updates from the London talks between US and Chinese officials. Okay, when those headlines come out, I do think we are going to get a massive rally in markets. I think the loosening of export controls on both sides, semiconductors from the US side and rare earth materials from the Chinese side, as well as the other details of a potential trade deal that is likely going to come out of this meeting, is going to send us to new all-time highs. It's going to be a very big positive catalyst for markets. It's going to be positive for Tesla. It's going to be positive for probably everything, but specifically AI, Because the fact of the matter is, we are now in a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 year long AI Cold War with China. That's what it is. We are in a Cold War with China. As I've said on this channel now a couple of times, this is actually the best possible thing that could have happened, because we have to innovate. We have to grow. We have to create new products and services. And if you're investing in that, you're going to get rich. Okay. You're going to do very well over the next couple of decades. If you're not, well, that sucks. But if you're watching this video, you're clearly going to participate in this market. So I think all of these things, again, put together with the tax bill kind of getting off the radar, like pass it or don't, dude, let's just get this over with. I don't really think that's a catalyst to markets anymore. We kind of have already priced in what damage that would do to the deficit. You're going to get deregulation, again, a focus on AI. You're going to get, I think, an economy that is stronger than most people think, with less inflation than most people think. And coming out on Wednesday, we are going to get the CPI report. So in the next like 72 hours, we're going to have a readout or some details on this China-US trade meeting in London. That's likely coming first. On Wednesday, you get CPI. And then on Thursday, you get the launch of the robotaxi. I think all of these are setting up to be positive risk events for markets. So putting that together, I think Tesla can have a phenomenal rest of this week. And I wouldn't even be surprised if Tesla's in the high 300s, maybe even low 400s by Friday. Tesla's a $315 stock. That would be quite an impressive run. But don't ever count Tesla out, especially when you have 85 million shares that are sold short and short sellers that have taken massive losses on Tesla from Tesla's lows that you were at recently in the low 200s. Like if you shorted Tesla in the low 200s back in April, you're down $100 a share, let alone if Tesla goes to $400. Then you're down $200 a share. You're down 50% on your short position. If Tesla goes to, 600, you would be down 100% on your short position. Like there, you can't stay in a short position that you initiated in the 200s. Like you have to cover that from a risk management perspective, especially again with robotaxi. As long as that produces a positive result in Tesla stock, which I think it will, it's very hard to stay short in Tesla. So when I talk about a short squeeze, it's from a pretty logical perspective, right? From a risk management perspective from hedge funds and institutions, especially as volatility calms down in markets. That in and of itself usually means low volatility. Volatility falls, you allocate to stocks. Volatility rises, you get out of stocks, you pull back a bit. Even again today, you had 809,000 shares that were covered by hedge funds and institutions. Now, U.S. House Speaker Johnson said today that he thinks there will be a reconciliation between Trump and Musk. Oh yeah, Donald Trump says that he is not going to get rid of his Tesla or Starlink at the White House. He says Starlink is a good service. Donald Trump also said today, I haven't thought about speaking to Musk on the phone. I would have no problem speaking to Musk. I would imagine Musk would want to talk to me. So he's kind of sending an invite to have a conversation. Now, Trump said at 3:30 as well today that China talks are ongoing and that they'll be calling in soon. He says that he is hearing good reports from London. Now, earlier in the day today, it was reported that Trump is allowing negotiators like Scott Bessent to use the export controls in negotiations. Like, again, as I said over this weekend, we're going to give China semiconductors, China's going to give us rare earths. That's how this thing ends. And then other details of a trade deal are going to come as well. But that is my core belief at this point. It's 1 for 1. We get rare earths, they get semiconductors. That, by the way, would be big for NVIDIA. It would be really big for AI. And hence why I think you've seen Nebius and CoreWeave and other AI stocks like NVIDIA do well in the last couple days. Donald Trump says we'll see on lifting export controls. Trump says we are doing well with China and that China is not easy. So again, at the time of recording this video, Tesla is a $315 dollar stock, which you were struggling to get above that $300 level until some of these headlines came out, positive headlines with Trump and Elon. Again, some of those export controls, potentially being lifted. That also kind of helped the broader markets today, but also, again, helps your AI stocks specifically. So I think over the next couple of days, you're in for quite a rally in Tesla stock. Again, the readout from the meeting, which probably is going to give us rough outlines of a trade deal, again, lift some of these export restrictions, so on and so forth. That's coming first. You get CPI on Wednesday, and then you get the robotaxi launch on Thursday. As long as we get positive kind of news on scalability of deployment of robotaxis, the stock's going to explode. Now, if we don't get much detail on deploying robotaxis, I still think the stock's going to do very well, but it may hold the stock back a little bit because of that uncertainty. Like, are we only going to be in Austin? Are we going to launch in 4 other cities this year? Are we going to launch in 10 next year? Are we going to launch in 30 next year, right? There's a big difference in what those numbers mean for the underlying valuation of Tesla. So let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. I think anywhere between that 350 level and the 420 level could be in play by Friday. I know, sounds crazy, but I wouldn't count Tesla out from a big rally, even this week. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.